And one day you thought, maybe English is not for me. But let me tell you something important. That thought is not a fact. It is only a feeling. And feelings can change. A learner named Aaron once told me he stopped studying English 3 different times. Every time he felt guilty at first, then distant, then ashamed. What changed for him was not a miracle method. It was learning to return without punishment. That is the key. Not never falling. Returning after the fall. Progress is not always visible. One reason people give up is that improvement often hides before it shows. You may understand one extra sentence today and not notice it. You may speak one sentence faster and forget to celebrate it. You may use one new phrase correctly and dismiss it as luck. But these tiny moments are evidence. Language development is cumulative, and persistence is strongly linked with long-term achievement and internally driven motivation. So, if you cannot see massive progress this week, that does not mean nothing is happening. It may mean your brain is still building the foundation. Think about farming. A farmer does not plant seeds in the morning and expect fruit at night. The work is real even when the field still looks empty. English works the same way. The days when you practice and feel unchanged are often the days your brain is organizing the next level of understanding. Your identity is growing. One of the most damaging ideas in language learning is this: I am just not good at English. Be careful with that sentence, because when you repeat it enough, it starts to feel like identity. But identity is not fixed. You are not a bad English learner. You are a learner who is still developing. That difference matters. A growth-oriented mindset helps you stay engaged when results are delayed, while self-defeating labels make people quit before their skills have time to mature. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at speaking," try saying, "I'm still building my speaking habit. I'm learning how to stay calm. I'm getting better at expressing myself. I'm not fluent yet, but I'm improving." That language is powerful because it keeps your identity open. And when your identity stays open, your future stays open too. The real enemy is stopping. Many learners think the problem is that they are not advanced enough. Often, the real problem is inconsistency. They study for a week, disappear for 2, start again, then stop again. That pattern destroys momentum. Learning English works much better when your effort is steady, even if it is small. Studies and teaching guidance repeatedly show that consistent exposure, regular practice, and realistic scheduling are more effective than intense bursts followed by long breaks. 5 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow. A short speaking practice after dinner. A small listening habit during your commute. A few sentences aloud before bed. That may not feel dramatic, but it is exactly how durable progress is built. A young woman named Naomi once told me she thought she needed long study sessions to improve. But what actually helped her most was a simple rule: never let more than 1 day pass without some English contact. That changed everything, because English stopped being a project she visited and became a habit she lived. Fear feeds quitting. Fear is one of the biggest reasons learners stop. Fear of mistakes. Fear of accent. Fear of pronunciation. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of being corrected. And once fear grows strong enough, a learner begins to avoid speaking. But avoiding speaking creates a second problem. You lose the very practice that would reduce the fear. So the cycle continues. Fear leads to silence. Silence leads to less practice. Less practice leads to more fear. This is why people who understand a lot of English can still feel stuck when it is time to speak. Fear and lack of output often sit behind that gap. The solution is not to wait until you feel brave. The solution is to practice in a way that makes bravery easier. Start with short answers. Use familiar topics. Practice with supportive people. Record yourself privately. Speak even when your voice shakes a little. Confidence is often the result of surviving small, uncomfortable moments. You need a reason that feels personal. A weak reason disappears when you feel tired. A strong reason keeps you moving. If your only reason for learning English is because it is important, that may not be enough on hard days. You need something more personal. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to teach. Maybe you want to study abroad. Maybe you want to speak confidently with people from other countries. Maybe you want to feel proud of yourself. Whatever your reason is, make it clear. And when motivation fades, return to that reason. Research on persistence in language learning shows that long-term motivation is stronger when learners connect English to a meaningful future self and real personal goals. So ask yourself, why do I care? What will my life look like if I keep going? What will I lose if I give up now? Those are powerful questions. Learn smarter, not harder. Sometimes people quit because they are studying in ways that frustrate them too much. They choose materials that are far above their level. They focus on too many things at once. They try to master everything before they can use anything. That is exhausting. If your material is too hard, progress feels invisible. If your material is too easy, progress feels boring. You need the sweet spot. Challenging, but still possible. One of the best ways to avoid burnout is to match your practice to your current level and goal. If you want to speak better, speak more. If you want to understand faster, listen daily. If you want to remember more, use spaced repetition and repetition in context. If you want confidence, practice short conversations often. A learner named Brian once kept buying advanced books that he could barely read. He felt smart for owning them, but defeated while studying them. When he switched to simpler, useful content, his consistency improved almost immediately. That is a lesson many learners need. Sometimes the smartest move is to lower the difficulty so you can actually continue. Use English in real life. If English only exists in a study session, it will always feel like homework. But if English becomes part of your daily life, it starts to feel normal. Label objects in your room. Think of one sentence while you wash dishes. Describe your day in English. Send yourself a voice note. Say what you were doing out loud. Summarize a short video. Write a few lines before sleep. These habits turn English from a classroom subject into a living skill. And living skills are easier to keep. A learner who only studies once in a while will always feel like they are starting over. A learner who uses English in daily life slowly stops feeling like a beginner. That difference is huge. Break the "I'll start again later" trap. Many learners do not say, "I quit forever." They say, "I'll restart next week." Then next week becomes next month. Then next month becomes next year. So one of the most important habits you can build is the ability to restart quickly. If you miss one day, return the next. If you miss 1 week, return with a smaller plan. If you feel lost, simplify your routine. Do not wait for the perfect restart. A tiny restart is better than a long delay. The learners who grow the most are not always the ones who never stop. They are often the ones who return fastest. Progress loves repetition. A lot of learners want novelty. New app. New book. New teacher. New strategy. And while fresh material can help, progress still depends on repetition. You need to hear the same structures again. You need to reuse the same phrases again. You need to repeat the same speaking patterns again. That is how fluency becomes automatic. Do not confuse repetition with boredom. Repetition is what turns effort into skill. If you can say the same sentence in 5 different situations, you are building real strength. For example, "I'm not sure. I need more time. Could you say that again? I'm still learning." That makes sense. These may seem simple, but they are the kind of sentences that help you stay in the conversation. And staying in the conversation is how fluency grows. Your mistakes are not proof. Mistakes do not mean you should quit. They mean you are participating. Every speaker makes mistakes. Every learner makes mistakes. Every fluent person has made many, many mistakes. The difference is that they use the mistakes as feedback instead of evidence of failure. If you say the wrong word, correct it. If someone helps you, thank them. If you get embarrassed, breathe and continue. Mistakes are expensive only when you stop learning from them. Otherwise, they're just part of the path. Middle call to action. If you are still with me, take a second right now to like this video, subscribe to Daily English, and comment, "I keep going," so I know you are not giving up. The power of small victories. To stay in English for the long term, you need proof that you are moving. So notice the little wins. You understood a video without subtitles. You answered a question more quickly. You remembered a phrase you learned last week. You spoke even though you felt nervous. You studied today when you did not feel like it. Celebrate those moments. They matter more than you think, because motivation often returns after action, not before it. A learner named Esther once kept a simple notebook where she wrote one small victory each day. Some days it was only, "I practiced for 10 minutes." Some days it was, "I understood one new sentence." That habit helped her keep going during a long plateau. And plateaus are normal. They are not the end. They are often just the space where your brain is getting ready for the next jump. What to do when you feel like quitting? When you feel like quitting, do not ask, "Should I become fluent right now?" That question is too big. Ask smaller questions. What is the next tiny step? Can I study for 5 minutes? Can I listen to one short clip? Can I speak one sentence aloud? Can I review just 10 words? Can I restart gently today? Small questions lead to small actions. Small actions lead to momentum. Momentum is what keeps learners alive in the long game. Speak to your future self. One of the strongest ways to stay committed is to picture the person you are becoming. Imagine yourself speaking with ease. Imagine yourself traveling with confidence. Imagine yourself answering questions without freezing. Imagine yourself helping someone else learn. Imagine yourself reading, listening, and understanding more naturally. That future version of you is not a fantasy. It is a direction. And every practice session is a step toward that person. So when you feel tired, ask, "What would my future self thank me for today?" That question can keep you moving when motivation gets low. Make English meaningful. People quit what feels empty. So connect English to something meaningful. Not just passing an exam. Not just finishing a lesson. Not just checking a box. Connect it to your voice, your opportunities, your dreams, your independence, your confidence. When English becomes meaningful, you stop treating it like a burden and start treating it like a tool for your life. That shift changes everything. A story about returning. A man named Khalid studied English for 2 years, then stopped completely after a discouraging experience in conversation. For months, he did nothing. Then one evening, he heard a phrase in a movie that reminded him of why he started. He returned the next day with a very small plan. 10 minutes of listening. 3 sentences spoken aloud. 1 short note in English. That was enough to restart the habit. A few weeks later, he was no longer asking, "Why did I stop?" He was asking, "How do I keep going better this time?" That is the right question. Advanced fluency tip. Use minimum viable English. Here is an idea many learners never hear. On heart, aim for the minimum viable version. If you're exhausted, maybe you only do 3 minutes. If you are busy, maybe you only speak 5 sentences. If you are discouraged, maybe you only review 1 lesson. This works because it protects your habit from collapse. Fluency is built by habits that survive difficult days. Advanced fluency tip. Pair emotion with review. If you want English to stay in your memory, review it with emotion. Do not just reread words silently. Say them out loud. Attach them to a personal memory. Use them in a sentence about your real life. Ask yourself how the phrase feels. Emotion strengthens retention. That is one reason stories are easier to remember than isolated rules. Advanced fluency tip. Track time, not perfection. Do not measure your progress only by how correct you are. Also measure how long you stayed with English. Did you practice today? Did you return after a break? Did you speak for longer than last week? Did you keep going when it felt difficult? That is progress too. Persistence is a skill, and it can be trained. Never giving up on English does not mean never feeling frustrated. It means understanding that progress is often invisible before it becomes visible. It means trusting that small daily effort can produce a big future. You do not need a perfect week. You do not need perfect motivation. You do not need perfect confidence. You need to keep going. Keep showing up. Keep speaking. Keep listening. Keep learning. Keep returning. Because the learners who finally succeed are not always the ones who started fastest. They are often the ones who refuse to quit. Thank you for staying with me today on Daily English. If this message encouraged you, subscribe, like, and comment one reason why you are still learning English, because your reason matters and I would love to hear it. Remember this: you are not behind. You are not finished. And you are not alone. Keep going.